Yesterday, we ended up being pretty bearish in Q and the ES. Kind of what we were talking about earlier in that morning. If we go to the hourly chart, one thing kind of played out that I was talking about was when we drew a structure line. When I drew a structure line, I was wanting price to come back up into that, right? Kind of giving us the old kind of head and shoulders look and then drop off. I thought price would kind of work its way up in here and maybe hang for a whole minute, but we just gave us this little wick at market open, and that was it, which is okay. But expecting a little bit more price action up in here at market open, and but eventually closed below that. Never saw it again. Came back, retested the 21 there on the hourly, and then broke down again. But for the most part, from market open to the end of the day, we really just was right there. I mean, the bulk of the moves was right there, and that was it. That was the whole day yesterday. So, good morning, Fred. But yeah, we talked about this structure getting kind of hit again yesterday, and it basically did that. Just didn't close above it and broke back down. So was looking bearish all day yesterday and played bearish. Another thing I want to point out is if we jump into I think it's the 15-minute chart that shows it really good. Yeah. 15-minute chart on the NQ yesterday. This structure line goes to this guy right here. I think yesterday is when I was talking about this one. Might have been the day before. No, it couldn't have been the day before because I wasn't on the day before. So it had to be yesterday. I was talking about this structure line. And if you notice, this was market open, pops up above here, drops back down, never closes below that structure. We wick down, but we don't close below it. And then when it does close below it, it does it with that kind of push. So that area, super important. What does price do? Grinds back up into it overnight, setting the Asia high right there. So, um, and then when we break above it, we do it again with some authority, but keep kind of pushing a little bit, and then we break back down. We've got some inefficiency around this number that we may come back and kind of tap it a little bit, see how price goes from here. To me, this is just a bearish outlook. But this is just a bearish look. I think we're going down a little bit further today. Morning, Chris. I think I said good morning, Fred, but good morning again, Fred, just in case I didn't. But I think we're going down a little bit further. Going to retest the Monday lows, and we've got this mean threshold here that I think we're going to tap eventually this week. We don't have any like crazy news drivers, so I don't think we'll get like a huge push into it, but you know, you never know. We got the mean threshold. We got another line right here that's for structure, um, but yesterday's price action, it did yield a well, if I get my thoughts right, it did give us a silver bullet. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Uh, right there. No, 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 no. Was it right there? Yeah, it was late. No, that's market open. I thought it gave us. It wasn't this one. I mean, that was a. I mean, I guess that you could have used that, but Yeah, it was 30 points. That was the one I was looking at. I thought it was cleaner, and maybe it's cleaner on the ES. Um, I thought it was as clean as that, but um, yeah, and it would have been this fair value gap that wasn't retapped. So I guess on the NQ, maybe this silver bullet was a loss yesterday. Because this would have been the other one, but it was at 11. So I think it was the ES that was cleaner. Yeah, there it is. ES would have been a winner right here. So it would not have gone above the stop. Your stop would have been right here on Casper's. And then 2 to 1, you'd had to wait for it, but it would have eventually gotten there. I think so. As you can tell, I did not trade it. Yeah, 2 to 1 would have eventually got there, but it would have been way over here at market close. So you'd have been hanging on to it for a pretty good while. And if you're trailing, you're more than likely out. But because that was the 10 o'clock. Well, so that's what I was thinking too. I mean, but the NAS would have been a loss. So Casper's would have been right here. The 10 o'clock would have been the first fair value gap. So you'd have gotten in here and then nope, that's the wrong direction. Your stop would have been way up here. 2 to 1 would have been way down here. And you'd have gotten out right there. So that would have been a loss yesterday on Casper's. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have had some opportunity to get out there. That would have been a micro trade for me. I don't think I would have traded that on because of the size of it, 43 points. I don't think I would have traded that on the regular NQ, but I wasn't able to trade this yesterday, so did not trade yesterday. That's the reason why you didn't see me on the chat yesterday. So it's just these school days. I'm struggling with the new um, schedule. So the only good thing is that I'm not taking trades, so I'm not losing anything. I'm just not. I don't have time for it, which is eating me up because then I'm just basically doing a bunch of review. Which I guess is probably good for me. I don't know. Um, but yeah, this one on the ES. I mean, if you can still use the same strategy. I mean, for one, they move in relatively the same directions, and they're going to give you relatively the same setups. So you can choose, the ones that you want. I mean, in this one, this right here is a 15, 16 point move. I mean, you don't have to have that, right? It's an 8 point stop. Your 1 to 1 would have hit right away. So your 1 to 1, you could have gotten out at break. I mean, took a partial move stop to break even, and you would have made money there. You wouldn't have got the full amount, but you would have been in and out a little bit quicker on 5 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I know Casper's is the NQ, but to me, they're relatively the same instruments, and they're going to give you similar setups. It's just a matter of how comfortable you are with each one of them and which one you trade better or more often. Because ES was a little weaker yesterday. The whole time I was saying it yesterday morning how the NQ is just seemed to be stronger, and it kind of played out that way as well during the day, where we had this larger pull up push at open, and then on the fall it wasn't as strong. We're kind of holding here where the ES, this was our open. We didn't get that same push, and the breakdown was a little bit larger. So I fully expect us to get down into this yellow, which is that monthly. We talked about it yesterday. It's this monthly fair value gap. So I fully expect to get down into here. I think we close bearish. You said Casper's was yeah, but that wasn't at 10 o'clock. So Casper's strategy is the 10 o'clock candle. That was at 9:50. This candle was actually the 9:40 candle. So that's the reason why I didn't say that one was one of the Casper one. I can't move this off now. Hang on. um, NQ 5 minute. So you're talking about that one. So as at 9:50 was this candle was the 9:40 candle. So in Casper's strategy, the fair value gap has to happen between 10 and 11. But I mean, I say has to. I mean, clearly it doesn't. Like this is a great setup and a great trade, right? For even other reasons, right? We take out some highs here. We had that structure line that it clearly rejected, so we had this nice huge bearish candle, and then we do pop back into that fair value gap right here near this structure line. So, like, yeah, this was a great trade. But when I was looking at it, looking back at it, this is what I was like, okay, 10 o'clock is right here. So right here. So, and that's the first fair value gap. I mean, this is 9:55. So the 10 o'clock, that's the first fair value gap. If you drop down to the 3 minute chart, which is, something that I thought about doing as well, even with that strategy, this is a great setup. Like, right, you get this pop up, you got our market open, and it drops. So we break structure, and then it comes back into that fair value gap. So, but that's just early, right? So if you're trying to be strict, and I definitely would not be, you wouldn't have been in that play. You'd had to wait till down here. Which this is 30 points. It just doesn't give you the 2-to-1. But if you're in here at 44, I mean, you could have easily gotten 20 to 30 points out of it on the NQ, which is it's a $500 trade on one contract. Obviously, nothing too shabby there. And it's pretty quick, right? So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. But then it definitely turns bullish. Like we get consolidation where it pops up, and then we drop into some stops here, and then this rejection straight up. I would have been reluctant to stay short. But that's the thing about, I mean, if you're doing this on the 15-minute chart and it's longer term, say you're micro trading it, this would have been the fair value gap, 10 o'clock. You would have went short here. Your stop would have been up here. You're still in it. You go to that 2 to 1 way down here if you go 2 to 1. But I mean, clearly you don't have to longer term. Again, this is 30 points. If you hold it, if you're longer term, you hold it throughout the day. I mean, you're still getting 85 points. Like you were in drawdown 40, 45 for 85. Like, but again, I think we're bearish. We popped up and we took out Asian highs. I expect us to bounce around this inefficiency right here and continue to drop. I think we take out these lows and we continue to move into these lows. Down into this mean threshold by the end of the week. Now, I mean, I know we do have some news. Like today, we've got FOMC minute. Oh my gosh, I can't talk this morning. I'm sorry. Meeting minutes at 2 p.m. So that right there could possibly give us a jump, but I think a lot of it's already priced in. Usually, this is already kind of priced in. So I don't know if we're going to get like a huge move out of building permits and industrial production. And then by 2 p.m. this afternoon, the move should have already been made. And I just don't think that meeting minutes is going to cause a huge jump. And the dollar all day yesterday is right here. So drop into a 15-minute. This is where it was yesterday morning. How we popped up. And we were just around. Nope, that was Monday. And we popped up here yesterday morning, and then we just kind of stayed sideways all day. So the dollar didn't help the markets any, but if you look and compare, it basically did the same thing. Our market stayed pretty sideways compared to the usual movement that we've been seeing the last few weeks. So, and I think this is just judging by what the markets have been doing. I think we're bearish. So I would assume the dollar is going to play around the Monday range this week. I don't think it's bullish. I know that we've got this large little move up, but I don't think it's like bullish. We were talking about structure yesterday coming down, didn't quite get to it, but I don't think the dollar is doing this by any means. I think we hang around the Monday range all week. We might pop down maybe today, this afternoon, when the markets have slowed. But I think for the most part, we're hanging around the Monday range for a while this week. Next week's news. Nothing. You got the Euro PMI. We got PMI on Wednesday, but until then, existing home sales on Tuesday, nothing. Like, I think it's going to be a stagnant August, and we're just going to trickle. And so this is one thing I wanted to point out too. Like, I'm perfectly okay with the market kind of dragging its, this grind. It doesn't really make for great money making, but I like this um, slow descent because all of that to me is just liquidity, right? So when we do decide to pop, we're going to do it pretty aggressively. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Be patient, right? If you got those accounts, as funded accounts, just kind of be patient. And because I think that when this thing does turn and we do head for higher ground, and it's going to, I think it's going to be pretty quick. Oh yeah, and do that and a Friday rally. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And again, there's really nothing on Friday. There's literally no news on Friday. Like Thursday's unemployment claims and stuff. So Friday is the only day that, well, I say the only day is a day where you're not going to have anything. So it could definitely give us a pop. It's just a matter of like how big that pop's going to be, how big that rally's going to be. Because like I said, next week there's still not a driver, um, other than the European PMI. Those are red, and then and that's all midweek on Wednesday. And PMI for the U.S. dollar, May and June were red, but July was good. So I don't know. I mean, the one good thing about me not being able to trade is just the fact that I do get to kind of really just watch the markets and then like, okay, it's consistently doing this, and and this strategy is definitely one that is that's working, or these times are pretty solid. So look at the ES, you can see the same thing, a lot more bearish, right? We done broke these lows, we broke through this mean threshold, closed below it. So if we do get down here before Friday, and it's definitely feasible that the markets could keep going, then this could be like a very big rejection area, a pretty nice rejection spot for the markets to continue up. If you look at it on the NQ, that's that area between here too, right? If you go to the monthly on it, yeah, inefficiency here. We do have this structure down here. I just don't think we get there. I don't think we get there. News, I think, has to get us down here. I don't think we're going to get here. So I think August is going to end with a pretty solid green candle, bearish candle. I think September starts out sliding, and then we get a pop. Although it feels like the end of August, and we're just now in the second week. I mean, straight sideways. The Monday low is the one that I'm looking at. This line, I think, is already been done and over with. I think the Monday low is where we reach next. We break above that, we could see a little bit higher move, but I think overall, this is where we're going. Yeah, I think the dollar's stagnant this week. I think the markets are going to be bearish because of it. So um, I am going to have to cut it a little bit short this morning. I got a post I got to make. My bowling tryout started yesterday. I got my bowling team ready. So yeah, it's that time of the year, season again. Um, we're in a new district and everything, but so I guess about another 5 minutes. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. But uh, this line may come into play if we decide again, if we decide to break above this wick, we could get like a little push back up into this here. I can see that happening. But right now, this structure right here has just got us. So that's the reason why I don't know if we pop up. I think we come back down. I think we continue further to the south and kind of doing that right now. I think the VWAP is above that as well. Yeah. Top of that channel line up with your 20. Yeah. On the chart you were on before. 4 hour. Yeah. Let me get I think it's just on that. Look at the hourly for that body there. So I can keep it on that same line. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty close. I I think so. I think so, Fred. I mean, we got a lot of liquidity up here, so it may decide to give us a little bit of a push, but we rejected getting above that channel twice. And I think it's a pretty strong area down here that if it does break down, we're gonna continue to fall. I just think that's where it's headed. So, and if we use this one, keep it on that body. I mean, you can see if it decides to run with this channel one more time, this is the area and structure. I mean, you could possibly see just looking at this move right there, right? We got popped up. We could see like another one before we go down. So, and maybe this was it, but no real reason why. Just right from a few weeks ago. That's the reason why I don't think it's going to do anything. Like, I mean, it's going to show what they're saying. So the rhetoric of it is going to like tell like whether it's going to be um if there's something in there that they say like that they project like maybe the last time they put out these the meeting minutes or what we heard from them, it wasn't like it didn't show their outlook for like the coming months. So if they say something about like October is going to be or September is going to be um or we're showing a more bearish outlook or whatever, if we just feel like the economy is going to slide towards the end of August into September, then and that wasn't like this what we heard or thought or whatever before, then you could probably get a pop out of the market for it. But I just I don't think their language in there is going to be anything more than what it has been. It's going to keep the market basically where it's at. But right now they're going to give a little. I think they're going to give up a little bit more room for a nice push towards the end of the year. or what that Halloween rally. Take it easy, Kyle. Appreciate you being here, man. That Halloween rally we were talking about. Hey, you too, Fred. I appreciate you being here, man. So, I mean, I think it would be smart to not be in a trade or at least mitigate risk around 2 p.m. just in case. There you go. Jack the Pumpkin King, definitely greater than Santa. My wife would agree. She's already starting to creep out the Halloween stuff little by little. You start seeing skeleton hands and stuff just kind of hang around. Oh yeah, yeah. Well then, be out. Yeah, yeah. Everything's up and out now. So, but that's her holiday. She loves Halloween. I mean, I like it too, but she like starts decorating for it pretty early. And I got a cousin like September 1st. She starts putting out her Christmas stuff. Like it's weird. It's a little early. All right, brother. Think I'm gonna let it go and get going. I got an email and a couple of things I got to put out before I even start getting ready myself this morning. And bowling season has officially begun now that I have a bowling team for this coming season. So, and I have a feeling it's going to be another long one into January, which is a good thing because I think we got better from last year, which is crazy to even think, but I think we got better. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, man. I know my assistant coach, he wants to schedule that team, um, Columbia Central. He wants to schedule them so we can just kind of start the season off. He wants to schedule them early too. And I'm like, I don't know, man. We moved districts and our districts like got more teams in it. So our schedule's already going to be heavy. But but yeah, it ought to be fun. And I think it's gonna be a good year. Like I said, we just reloaded. We're not rebuilding. Like the three seniors that I lost last year, two of them were solid. One of them was a pretty good, kind of captainish type of a player. So I was really kind of like, man, I don't know what we're going to do this year. I don't see anything in the pipeline coming up. And then all of a sudden, I've got this freshman that I've known for a long time, but I thought he was going to the other school. Nope, he came to me, and this kid he's a stud. So he'll probably end up being as a freshman. He'll end up being my number one, and I've got some pretty good number ones already on the team, a couple of them. So, and then we've got a junior that came out of nowhere. Don't know where he came from. Don't know why he hadn't been bowling. And he's a solid little player. Given some time, he's going to be really good. So he's going to end up being like our sixth guy, which is one that we were kind of looking for this year. But, anyways, yeah, yeah, it's gonna. I don't know about recruiting, but definitely the sport is getting a pretty good name in Dixon. So, but but yeah, this year I've got scheduling and all that kind of stuff I got to get done and everything, and so I don't know if I'll be trading today. I don't know if it'd be smart of me to be trading today, but we'll see. I'll try and look. I've been just basically watching the 10, 11 o'clock and looking for the trade. That's the reason I didn't trade yesterday because um, it took so long for that to set up. Like These are 15-minute candles. So if you went into 5 minutes, I'm sorry. So it dropped way down here. And after it kept pushing, I just didn't even look at it. All right, man. So that's the reason I didn't trade. But I'll try and see it. Yeah. That's what I'll be doing this morning too. Have a good one, man. See you.